Okay, so this is the next series. We're just going to work from R-guard or De La Riva and basically look at entries to single leg X and saddle. Okay, so first entry we're going to do. Okay, so you've seen that your partner's already stepped to the inside of your legs, okay, and I'm flat on my back. So first thing I'm going to do is capture the heel, right? I don't want him to have, to be able to take his heel out and start to, for example, X pass. If I'm trying to sit up and catch any X passes, that's going to be a good timing for him to get a pass. So as he steps in, I need to straight away catch the heel, okay, and I'm going to push my knee away from my chest to stop him from running away, okay. As he comes back towards me, the first foot that's going to connect is this foot on his ass, okay, and I'm going to capture behind the knee. If he keeps that foot in range for a long time, I'm going to capture that foot, okay. So he's going to step the foot back as soon as he can, and I'm going to capture this knee. As he's stepping the foot back, okay, I'm connecting my second leg underneath the leg that's inside, and I'm turning myself onto my shoulder, okay, and now I can extend my legs to force my partner's hand to the floor. Okay, so from this position, I want to keep my partner's hand on the floor, right? So I want to put more weight onto it. So again, I'm going to switch my hand from the inside of the knee to pushing on the shoulder. Okay, and now I can circle my foot inside his leg much easier. Okay, so here, just circle my foot inside the leg. Okay, once I've circled my foot inside the leg, I switch from the shoulder to the back of the knee again, and I'm going to shoot my foot all the way through. Okay, to take my partner down now, I'm just going to drive my knee down to the floor. Okay, I'm in this single leg X position with me controlling the outside of the knee. Okay, got my foot on the hip here. Okay, or it could have just been on the floor. You just tuck it right on the hip there. Okay. So again, my partner manages to step inside. First thing I do is kick my partner straight up. Okay, so if he keeps that leg towards me, I can just capture that leg, right, and push it back down. Okay, but you assume that people aren't going to just leave their leg long enough for you. So as I kick him in the butt, he's resisting. He steps forward just a bit. I go for it and I miss it. I tilt to the opposite side, he posts his hand, I post on the shoulder and widen that base, okay? And now I keep my right foot engaged and I'm pinching my knee down into the side of his knee to make space whilst hooking his leg there with my heel really tight, okay? I circle my foot in, so all I need to do, I let go of the shoulder, circle my foot in, and then hold behind the knee. From here, I lift my hips off the floor, drive my knee all the way through, pushing my knee down into his hips whilst pulling his knee to my opposite hip. Then we can finish here in this sort of ashigarami position, right? And again, I have options. If he's just going with me, I can start to look to lock off the outside heel hook, or if he's turning to hide his heel, then I can look to capture the second leg and then start to look for Z locks and that sort of thing. Okay, so last time. So we're here, partner manages to step in, I kick straight up the butt. Okay, I'm going to catch this, but he steps it back and I tip him the opposite side. Okay, so I can't really be taking breaks when I'm playing this guard, right? You need to be constantly moving. So if you're just waiting, that's when your partner starts to deconstruct the guard that you're playing. So I push on the shoulder to make enough space, circle my foot inside, capture deep on the knee, and then shoot my bottom leg through. Okay, from here, push my partner down to the floor with your knee, and then I can look to start to reap. Okay, or if my partner's hiding his heel, then I look to capture the second leg. Okay. Okay, so for this next clip, my partner's basically going to flare their knee out and try and keep the top position as much as possible. And that tends to give us the saddle because they're using their second leg to base on, so they can't really keep it out of the way. So, same start as before. Partner's going to enter. Okay, I'm going to kick behind the butt. I'm going to reach for this leg, and as he's bringing it back, he widens his base in that direction, so I can tip him much easier in that direction. Okay, I post on the shoulder. Okay, I start to circle my foot to the inside, but here my partner's like sprawling his hips in towards me really tight, so it's hard for me to take him down. So I'm going to circle this foot, rather than circling in here, I'm going to tuck it behind his leg. Okay, so from this position, I can catch behind my partner's armpit and invert. Now I shoot my leg through, collect his second knee, step foot to foot, and I take my partner down. Okay, and then finish in saddle again. Dip your elbow between the two legs to make sure they can't just shrimp out. So again, we're here. My partner steps in, straight away with my inside leg I kick, and I reinforce with my second leg. As he's coming back, I tip him with my hand behind his knee. Okay, if he posts his hands, I frame. And as he's sprawling to face me, okay, I'm circling this foot inside and in front of the far thigh. Okay, so from here, let's say, turn to face me a little bit more and sprawl this leg. So let's say we're here, right? It's hard for me to invert, without using my hand. I'm gonna put my hand behind his armpit, turn, so my butt is pointing more at his far shoulder, and now my left knee will shoot through. I can either cross my legs or go foot to foot, okay? If your partner's hips are still off the floor, triangling your legs is often a good idea. You can get your toes behind the far hip, okay, and it makes it harder for them to roll without you. Okay, so last time. Let's go this way. So here, partner steps in with kick. I go for this leg, he steps it back, I tip, push, circle the foot through, over, and then I capture the saddle. Okay. Okay, so for this next move, rather than posting his hand on the floor, my partner's going to back step with his leg to keep his balance, right? But it's only temporary. So I'm here, I tip my partner to the side. So let's say I tip him forward. As he comes back, I tip him to the side. Instead of posting his hand, you see how he's balancing there. He's got his head forward and his leg backwards. So essentially his weight is going in this direction, right? So I want to take his leg in that direction as I pull up on this leg with my hand. So basically want to spread his legs as much as possible. I'm going to use my right leg to either tilt his leg towards me, or if he's keeping that leg a bit more planted, to bring myself towards his other leg. Notice as I do that, I'm not letting go of this leg, right? I'm pulling it with me so I can collect both legs, okay? So if my partner stays standing, I've got one grip over the top of the knee, my second foot's gonna stomp behind the knee, okay, and I can start to extend my partner out, and then you have lots of options. You can look for saddle, okay, same as before, bringing your foot on top of the spine, okay, or keeping here, swinging your leg over the top, or you can just look for standard X guards, okay? One more time with that. So here my partner steps in, I'm going to kick right the middle. As he comes back, I tip to the side. Okay, as he's coming back, I'm bringing my foot behind his leg and I'm kicking up in this direction whilst my left hand is pulling on his heel and I'm reaching for this underhook grip. Once I have the underhook grip, right, I can be pretty sure that I'm going to get some sort of leg entry. So I pull on one. If he's putting weight on this leg, it means I can pull with the left leg. Okay, see, I'll just get my hips underneath his hips. Now from here, if he stood up tall, right, it's going to be easier for him to step this right leg free. So what I want to do is tip his hands to the floor in this direction using my shin behind his knee, and then I stomp my foot behind his knee. Again, so I can spread the base out even further, throw my leg over the top of his back and capture the toes. Now I can step on the armpit, turn, and then look to capture the saddle with the heel hook and finish. Okay, second option, as I start to reach for the second leg, right, my partner's going to drop to that knee. So let's say we're here, I tip, okay, as I go to hook behind, and I get the underhook, my partner drops to that knee, right? So now I don't really have the option of going to an X guard. So I'm going to swing my partner's leg off the floor using both my feet here, and I'm keeping my grip here. I need to switch to an underhook, right? If I'm just here and I try an underhook, there's nothing stopping my partner from just taking his leg back out of the way and go for it. So yeah, just takes his leg back, right? There's nothing I can do about that. But if I start to swing in this direction, okay, now if he tries to take his leg back, he can't really do it, right? And I can just switch to the underhook calmly. Okay, my second knee, I just want to tuck it to the inside, and then we finish in this waiter guard position, which is pretty useful, right? I have access to both of his legs. Okay, I can off balance him pretty easily. Let's say he's just like keeping his balance really well. I can just decide to switch to normal X guards. Yes, like that. Okay, passing the leg across, etc. Then looking for your saddle entries and your 50-50 entries. There's one more time on that. We're here. As he steps in, I try and kick him up. I reach for that leg, but he brings it back. I tip him to one side. I tip him to the other side, underhook, and he drops the knee. Okay, now my right leg, okay, really important. I need to swing both my legs to the left-hand side. Okay, otherwise I won't be able to take weight off of his leg. So I swing the legs here and extend. Now I switch to my underhook. Once I have my underhook, I want to be careful of the straight footlock on this leg, especially if you've got glass feet. So I want to tuck my knee underneath. Okay, then I can control the top of the knee. So basically I'm climbing myself further up the leg from the heel, right? Always when it's sweaty and noggy, there's a chance that they just run away, even if you have a solid grip. So you're better off improving your grips at all times. So I'm going to switch to the top of the knee here. Okay, I can start to turn to face my partner, pass the leg across my body, and now I have look. Let's turn a little bit. I turn this for a bit. Now I have lots of options again, right? You know, this grip, I can switch to a straight footlock, I can keep this grip, and look for that Craig Jones entry. And lots of options, okay? So yeah, that's De La Riva to the weight guard. Okay, so for this next technique, when I get to my R guard, my partner's going to drop to their far leg. So let's say we're here, right, and my partner drops to their far knee. It makes it a lot more difficult to pummel my foot over the top, you know, because he's got his chest lower down to his knee. It's going to be pretty difficult to pummel to the inside. But the only benefit is that I have more of a mobility advantage because he's on one knee. So if my partner's blocking his foot, especially, okay, I can try and unhook it with my free leg here, okay, or I can try and use my hand here to peel it free. But either way, I need this foot free, and I need to be able to post on the sole of his foot here so he can't follow my leg, right? My goal is going to be to scoot out and bring my foot on the front of his shin, minimum, okay? If I can get my foot all the way through, that would be ideal, okay? But a lot of the time, my partner's following this. Okay, so as I go out, he tries to follow with his leg. I will just about get it on the front of his shin here. So once I get it on the front of his shin, I can just really pull with my hand and kick with my leg until it passes all the way through. Okay, once it passes all the way through, I'm back to wrapping my straight footlock grip. Okay, turning to face my partner, bringing my heel onto his hip. Okay, and then finishing in single leg X one more time. So again, that's over here. Okay, partners on one leg. I want to enter this leg. So I would be sitting up here, right, to try and keep my knee and chest close together to not allow him any underhooks. I'm gonna try and clear the grip on my leg if he's holding it really tight. Otherwise, okay, so you can use your leg here as well. Otherwise, scooting out, step on the thigh, step on the front of the shin. Now I'm gonna pull the shin towards me, okay, and kick my leg through to the inside. So you could go to your underhook here as well, but just for consistency, we're gonna go to single leg X here, okay, and then I swing my foot to the top of the hip. For example, if you had the underhook here and you landed, okay, I might not even go to single leg X. I might be just looking to pass the leg across the body and then start to attack saddle and 50-50 like before. Okay. Okay, so for this next technique, we're going to be able to switch to our underhook. So I would say this is a more safe position when you're playing R-guard or De La Riva. On the downside, it's probably a bit more difficult to off balance your partner. So it's less dynamic, but probably a safer way of playing. So we're here, we start from our R-guard again, okay? When I get the chance, I'm gonna bring my partner's knee in towards me, like we did on the opposite side with the reverse De La Riva. I'm gonna bend the knee so there's space to punch my hand through this gap. So we're here, I bend the knee, punch my hand all the way through the gap, elbow deep, and I wanna hold on to my shin. Okay, once I get to this position, I don't need to have my feet crossed anymore, right? It's not really helping me. So I'm just gonna have my second foot tracking, okay? And I'm gonna start to push on the front of the knee. Right, what I don't want to do is like open my legs too much where I don't have the shoelaces of his foot onto my shoulder and he can just like kick and run away in that direction. Yeah, he just clears his foot, right? So when I have my underhook here, I need to make sure that my turn isn't coming from releasing my leg and turning like this. My turn is coming from pushing on his knee and I'm bringing his shoelaces to my trap muscle. So if he tries to run away now, even if I have one hand, it's going to be much more difficult, right? Especially when it's sweaty, you need like all the friction you can get. So now this foot that just came out, I'm just going to hook it either on the close side, okay, so on this side of his knee or on his hip. Okay, my second hand I can just control the heel and I'm going to chop my right leg over the top and try and chop my partner's knee all the way down to the floor. Okay, if I can't cross my legs here because there's no space, I can kick his second leg with my bottom leg and then hook my right leg underneath. Okay, so from here I need to be careful how I shuffle his leg up to get the heel hook right. I'm unable to heel hook it from here. So I'm going to capture his toes with my free hand. I'm going to lift it off the floor and then I'm going to shove the foot there. So if my partner's sitting back towards me, okay, I can still manage to get a heel hook grip, okay, even if they're pressuring all their body weight onto it. So I lift the foot up, I bring my hand on the inside of my second hand, okay, not through here, on the inside. And now I want to come up onto my elbow to be able to wrap the heel. Okay, once I wrap the heel, I'm going to go back to having my wrist to wrist or palm to palm grip, okay, and turn my shoulders down to the floor. And again, I'm using my bottom toes here to start the turning motion down to the floor to get finishing pressure. Okay, so one more time. So, De La Riva, okay, I'm going to bend my partner's knee as much as possible, and then I'm going to shoot my grip all the way through. So again, benefit is that it's harder for your partner to run away. Downside, okay, is that I'm not able to scoot forwards and backwards. I'm more attached to my partner and it's probably a bit harder for me to off balance him, okay? So underhook deep, okay? Now I'm gonna post on the shin and start to turn by pushing, okay? Always aiming to bring these shoelaces up to my trap muscle with basically like a shoulder press and a bicep curl at the same time. Okay, as soon as I get here, I wanna wrap it. My foot here is staying as close to it as possible, right? So as soon as I can bring it up to the hip, I'll bring it up to the hip. I swing my right leg over, okay, and chop it down, okay? So from here, if my partner's knee isn't fully on the floor, let's say he's standing and running away, okay, I want to just bridge with my hips, okay, to get the knee through to the floor and then triangle my legs. So from this position, I'm going to switch my hand that's on the heel to the big toe. I'm going to lift the big toe up and then shelf it with my free hand with the C grip, okay? So if my partner sits back into me, I don't really need any strength to hold this, right? I can just my bone that's supporting his foot there. Now I swim this hand on the inside, right? If I go to the outside and my partner starts to back step, I won't be able to catch the heel, right? He's gonna, you see how the toes clear my elbow. So we come back this way. If I bring my hand to the inside, okay, I'm much more likely to catch the heel if he tries to back step, or at least be able to follow and not lose the position. Okay, come back this way. Otherwise, we're C gripping. If my partner doesn't back step, I shoot my hand all the way through. Okay, if he's sitting back really heavy into me, so I feel like there's not much heel. Come up on this leg and see back into me. I feel like there's not much heel to get. I need to come up onto my elbow and push forward. Now I can wrap the heel. Okay, once I wrap the heel, palm to palm, I use my bottom toes on the floor here, and I start to turn belly down, flaring the knees and bridging to get my finish. So for this next clip, when I try the last move, so I tried to go to 50-50, my partner's going to point his knee to the outside, so it makes it much harder for me to bring my foot to the inside and also swivel my second K-guard foot to the outside of his leg. So we're here, okay, I managed to get my underhook right, so I bend his leg, shoot all the way through and hold my shin. So if my partner starts to step far around this direction, okay, it doesn't make sense for me to try and swing all the way out in this direction, right? If he's turning in the opposite way, so if you're turning away, yeah, then it makes it easier, right? He's almost giving me what I want. I can chop my leg over the top, okay? If he's turning in the opposite direction, I need to have another option. So maybe not so much, right? Just a little bit. So he just turns his knee to the outside, right? Even just a tiny bit. So I'm going to bring my knee past his knee, and I'm going to knee him in the back of his leg. Most people are going to drop to their knee at this point to try to avoid me getting this, but it's too late already. So I'm going to pull, okay? I can bring my knee to the inside, and we're back to this weighted guard position, okay? So all I did there was bring my calf past his knee and then tuck my knee into that gap to keep this foot safe. Okay, it also allows me to keep more weight off of me, right? If he's just trying to crush me, if I have a stump on his stomach, right, I'm pretty comfortable here. There's nothing he can do to crush me there or put pressure on me. So one more time. We're here. I managed to get my underhook. I'm trying to turn out exactly, and he's turning his knee to the opposite side. So I shoot my knee through and collect his far leg. As he drops to his knee, both my hands go up in this direction, okay? If I can connect my hands here, I'll connect my hands, okay, just because it makes it easier, you know, on my arms and shoulders to keep his legs together. I'm trying to tuck this knee to the inside, then I just bring my foot out to the outside, and again, we're back in weighted guard where I can just start to, you know, attack the legs, bring the heel over to the opposite side. I can wrap my straight foot lock, okay, and now I can go for either this leg with the backside 50-50, this leg with the saddle, or I can start to swing my leg over the top by saddle in this direction. Okay, so last time. Let's say we're here. I tried to go for my K-guard, he's turning it to the outside. Even if he's keeping his leg miles away, right? As long as I can get my knee through, just about, you see, I can bring his leg towards me. Underhook, both hands up, okay? Now I just need to get this knee inside his hips. So you see there, I just tuck it behind and I bump, 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 and I get my knee underneath his leg. From here I want to, let's turn a little bit. From here I want to tuck this knee under his leg. Okay, so it's safe from the straight foot lock. And then I can start to work from there. You know, once you tuck this knee back in, you always have the option of putting it back through if you want to, okay? But just on your own terms. Nice. So for this next one, it's basically similar to the underhook De La Riva to 50-50, except my partner's gonna block my reaping leg, okay? So I'm gonna use my opposite leg to reap all the way through and get to saddle. Okay, so we start now. Our guard, okay? I'm gonna shoot for my underhook, making sure to bend the leg as I do, and I hold my shin, okay? I'm always tensing on this bicep, so I can't be relaxed with this bicep and letting go. Okay, I'm tensing and I'm pushing on the knee at the same time. And this time my partner's blocking my second leg, right? So when I try and swing it over the top, it's not working, okay? And he's trying to run away here. So he's just literally, dragging me along the floor. So what I'm gonna do is try to kick this leg free, right? And if I'm struggling, he's holding on tight, okay? It's gonna off balance him even more, so hold on really tight. Exactly, now I can swing this leg to the inside, lift my hips off the floor, then I'm going to look to cross my legs in this sort of position, aiming to hook my foot onto his far thigh. Okay, I still have the same grip on his leg. I'm just going to do exactly the same as if I was in 50-50. I'm going to lift the toes off the floor, shelf, okay, bring my hand to the inside, and then if my partner starts to back step, I'm going to look for the second leg, okay, or if he stays there, doesn't know what he's doing, then I'm just going to look to capture the heel hook. Okay, so again. We're here. I have my underhook, bend the leg, shoot all the way through. Okay, I'm pushing on the knee whilst bicep curling. Okay, and my partner's blocking the outside leg. I connect my grip, so the grip that you can use on the bottom of the shin, right? You can use a butterfly grip, okay, or you can use like a rear naked choke grip on the heel. But either way, I just need to be pulling the toes up onto my shoulder, okay? So he's blocking this far leg. I swivel my foot all the way through and onto the line of his spine. Now I can lift my hips off the floor, and I'm looking, even if he's holding on tight here, right? I can flick my leg till I can cross my inside foot behind my outside knee. Okay, and then once I've got the toes next to his hip, I'm looking to extend and aim to get this knee. Let's turn a little bit this way. Yeah, I'm aiming to get this knee down to the floor. Okay, so we're here, I'm bridging. I lift the toes, shelf with my bottom hand, then bring my hand all the way through. If my partner stays where he is, great, I can just catch the heel. If he starts to back step as I'm looking for the heel, I'm going to look to capture the second leg, and then then finish again. Straight foot lock grip or Achilles grip. Dip your elbow between the legs, okay, and hold the outside knee. Alright, thank you guys for watching my instructional, and thank you BJJ Fanatics for having me in their lovely studio. So yeah, we basically just covered heel hooks, like what I like to use to hurt people's legs today. It was a long day, I'm not going to lie, but we got there in the end. Yeah, I'd like to thank all the people that I've been training with, all the people that I heel hooked at trials, and anyone else who I heel hooked on the way to here in Boston. I've had a great time. I want to thank all the guys who helped me with the filming and my Uki Tai for his help. And yeah, if you wanna see more of my videos, I have Instagram at EOGHANO Flanagan, no spaces. Don't try to type it because it's very difficult. And yeah, hopefully see you on the mats.